And here we have the subsequent play. The Cardinals have a first down in the Chiefs' red zone at about 12-yard line. The Cardinals come out here in 11 personnel. Got one running back, one tight end. Gets you 11 personnel. The Chiefs come out in their nickel. They've got 5 defensive backs, and they're doing it the same way they were earlier. They've got McDuffie, Connor, Hicks, and Watson, and then Brian Cook is the deep safety. Bolton and Chanel are the linebackers. Dana is back in with Charles Omenihu, so this is the first time Karlaftis is not on the field, and then Pennell and Jerry Tillery. So lined up here again like they're in cover one man, but let's take a look at the play first, and then we will break it down. So we've got Murray, fakes a handoff, then spins out to his left on the move. He throws it, and it's intercepted by Jaden Hicks. Brings it back to about the 20, 21-yard line on the run back. So let's take a look at how this happened. Like I was starting to mention earlier, this is really looking like cover one, although the Chiefs are kind of disguising it. At the snap, it really looks like cover one. You got man-to-man, 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 your one deep safety, which is what gets you cover one. And then if that were the coverage call, then one of these linebackers would be responsible for the running back in man coverage, and the other one would be an underneath defender. And now if we roll it forward, you can see the alignment. On this side, they do seem to be just purely playing man. You can see that Connor's running with Harrison in the slot. And you've got Cook over the top here. On this side, it looks like they might have, like, Watson has decided that they've decided that Watson's going to carry the more vertical route, and Hicks will take the underneath, because right when they release, you see Hicks kind of jam and then pass off to Watson, and then Hicks ends up taking the tight end on the shallow route. So unclear if that was always the plan, or if it was, well, let's decide like whoever the vertical route you take and the shallow route I'll take. Either way, it ultimately results in essentially man coverage. Everybody's manned up, and you've got Cook over the top. It's a play action fake, so they fake it like they're running a zone read. And instead, off of the zone read, Murray spins out. So they do get a lot of commitment. You see the linebackers all kind of freeze and step up. Hicks is jamming, but you see them freeze and step up. Omenihu, like, stops in his pass rush because you've got a pulling guard here, and he's trying to figure out if this is a zone read, if Kyle Murray might be keeping this. You see Cook come up initially too. So the Chiefs, again, after a play action, are forced to scramble, but they do end up kind of hanging on and being in position. Connor's in a tough spot because he's trying to run with Marvin Harrison across the formation. And it's interesting because I feel like Kyler Murray got a lot of criticism for this play. You know, everybody was basically like, well, that was a terrible throw. I don't know what he was seeing or what he was doing. And honestly, like, I lean a little more toward this was just a really good play by Hicks. Like, because if you see here that the Cardinals have a route combination, they've got a corner pattern, he's coming across, and then they've got the tight end going under. And you essentially have man coverage on everybody, right? Jalen Watson is running with the corner pattern. Shamari Connor is running with Harrison across the field, and Jaden Hicks is responsible for McBride in the flat. So if you're a quarterback in this position and you're understanding what the defense is doing, now one could argue maybe he locked on a little hard to Harrison, but you know what you're doing. You know, a lot of times as a quarterback, I think we get this kind of Madden impression that everybody can see everything on the field. Well, no, you can't. And so a lot of what you decide and what you anticipate as a quarterback is based on where you expect people to be, especially when you're a shorter quarterback like Kyler Murray, he probably trusts that even more. But you don't have time to go and verify everything by looking around. Your windows are going to close. So if you've ID'd man coverage and then you see, okay, I'm going to have Harrison on a crosser, he's beating his man, you're not expecting anybody to be out here. The Chiefs are playing man, and Hicks is playing man, but Hicks also sees Murray lock on, and he understands that, I've got the tight end in the flat. Even if I give him a little bit of a cushion, I can drive down on this route. Let me get a little bit of depth. And so he does, and then Murray, in trying to hit this crosser, ends up throwing it right to Hicks. I honestly think it's a lot more of a good play by Jaden Hicks than it is a bad play by Murray. Like, obviously, it's not a good play from Murray. But you can see what his thought process was. It wasn't like this was completely boneheaded. This was him correctly IDing the coverage, understanding that this route will win against that coverage, and not thinking about the fact that maybe an underneath defender will drop back under, and should you verify that particular thing? Possibly, probably. I mean, we'd need someone who's a little more offensively sound to tell me. Like, I would imagine you probably do, but it's not like he was just being an idiot. Like, you don't expect this defender to be there. Why would he be there? He's guarding that guy, and you've identified man. I mean, I think it's just props to Jaden Hicks for dropping off of his man and trying to, muddy the water as much as he can. And he's doing that, taking a risk, basically saying that, I'm on this tight end. I'm not that worried about him catching the ball at the line of scrimmage. Even if I'm 8 to 10 yards deep, I'll come up and get him. That's just confidence in himself. And that's what leads to the pick. You see it here from this angle, from the end zone view. And again, here's the zone read. You see everybody kind of freezing in their tracks. Murray spins out, and then you see it, right? Like, this is man coverage. He's got a guy running with him. He's got a guy running with him. He's looking at his guy Harrison coming across. You're not anticipating anything here. There's nothing about a zone drop, or why would you expect a defender to be there? This guy's supposed to be occupied here. It's just a really good play by Hicks. And again, like, will some quarterbacks identify this in real time and not throw it? Yeah, of course. But, like, you understand, again, what he was doing. Look, he's trying to see if his guy is going to pop open. And he has no reason to think that Hicks is going to get that kind of depth. Like, did Hicks outsmart him? Yeah. But was that an unreasonable assumption for Kyler Murray to make? I don't think so. Like, should he have verified it? Maybe. But it's not like it was just completely boneheaded. There are a lot of times quarterbacks make throws that they don't verify things. That's the reason why they're able to make the throw. They can anticipate what's happening based on what the defense is doing. And that's how they make great plays. Anyway, that's it for the Chiefs starting defense from week 1 of the preseason. Like I said, for talk about the others, the performance of Najee Johnson, Ashton Gelati, Jeffrey Bassa, Noel Williams. Follow along with the Steeler Thoughts Chief Feelings podcast. We'll have some discussion about their play there in the podcast. The film review we're kind of reserving for the guys that we think are going to be making more regular contributions with the starting 11 on defense during the regular season.